Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Beach. I am the author of the faith-based fairy tale series, The Solstice Chronicles, as well as a brand new series coming out called The Heart of God. The first book in the series is also called The Heart of God, and that one is coming out hopefully at the end of July, maybe early August. I will keep you all updated when I have an official release date, but I am so excited for this new series. Last time in my video, I kind of just shared a brief introduction to the series and this new book, and today I just wanted to share a little bit more about my main character, Selah Cross. Selah has become just a very special and dear character to me, and that happens as an author. You get very attached to your characters and the storylines that you've created with them and in their lives, and it's become just a very special story to me, and I'm so excited to share her with you guys, and I hope you enjoy her and her story as much as I've enjoyed writing it and creating it for you. She is like I said, a very special character. She kind of grew up in a very strong Christian home. She always went to church, always studied the Bible, and her parents were just very strong Christians. Their main desire was to find artifacts all over the world that proved the existence of God and the Bible. And that's kind of just the general heart of this whole series, is just finding those artifacts that prove the existence of God, but also realizing that it's not the artifacts that prove his existence, it's how we live our lives as living artifacts for God. So she's always had kind of that just strong Christian influence in her life, and it's always like influenced her decisions as she's grown up and different choices she's made, or how she views the world, or how she faces different things. So her faith is very, very important to her, and you see that throughout the story and throughout the rest of the series, but she is human, and she has had circumstances in her life that make her question her faith at time or have doubts come up. And the circumstances she faces in this first book are just incredulous and almost unbelievable and unimaginable. It's just something you would never imagine yourself experiencing. And so it was interesting kind of writing and developing this character and just seeing how she would react to different things in the different circumstances she's faced with, and just kind of looking at how we as believers would react in a similar situation. And I don't know that I would react the same. Maybe my faith would fall apart in the same situation. I don't know. I've never been faced with this situation. I've never known anyone in my personal friend or family group or even acquaintances that I've ever had to deal with something like this that she faces. So it's hard to tell like how you would react as a Christian and as a believer in different circumstances. And sometimes we can be very judging of people and how they react to different circumstances. And yet we don't have the grace to show them that we may not react the same way in a different circumstance that we're facing like them. So I kind of just wanted to bring that part out in her and just kind of show how she reacts as a human, but also as a believer in Christ and a follower of God. And so that was super important to me in the story. We find out some of the other characters are not believers. And so it's kind of a cool dichotomy too, to see her faith compared to their non-faith. And I'm going to share a little bit more about Dylan Kincaid next week. He's the non-believer, and he is also a very dear character, but just to see the dichotomy between the two of them and how her faith affects his non-faith and his unbelief in God and the Bible and everything. So really cool relationship building there too, and just storyline between the two of them as they face the circumstance together, both from totally different views, from one of faith and one from non-faith. And so that's been an interesting dichotomy too, just to develop and see it happen on the page. But I don't want to share too much because I don't want to give it away, but she is accused of murder and a missing artifact that got stolen during a gala event at her museum that she works at. And so this artifact was connected to her parents' death, actually. And so it creates quite the motive for her to have murdered the museum director and all this stuff. So all this stuff starts to build against her, and she is taken to the safe house by her guardian, and Dylan is assigned as her protector through all of this. And so it's just kind of a very big thing that kind of blows up her faith, and it's just kind of like makes her question everything, essentially, because it's like, as a believer, she should be trusting in God. She shouldn't be running. She shouldn't be running away from the situation. So questions in her mind like come up like, if I'm innocent, why am I running? if I'm innocent, why is this happening? And even questioning God, why is this happening to me? What have I done to you to make this happen to me? And even though we've never been faced with quite this circumstance, it's so easy as Christians to just find ourselves in those hard places where we are questioning our faith. We are questioning God and why it's happening to us. We're questioning what we ever did to him to cause this to happen to us. And so I just wanted to create that place of encouragement too, to show you that no matter what circumstances we face, and yes, they may be difficult and they may cause us to question our faith, God is still always there. He's still always going to be our stronghold. He's still always going to be our guide and our protector. And sometimes, yes, we are going to fall away from that, and we are going to turn away from that, or let our questions overwhelm us about why certain circumstances are happening. But he is always there, and he is never going to change. He's never going to leave us. He's always there protecting us and guiding us. And so sometimes it takes a turning away from him to be brought back into a stronger faith. Sometimes we just have to face difficult circumstances in order for our faith to grow in him. And so no, regardless of whatever circumstances you're facing in your life, whatever darkness you faced, whatever hard things you faced, whatever hard places you've been in, he is always there. And so it's just a beautiful story of her showing her human side in her faith, and that doubt, but also being reminded constantly that he is still there. He's still going to protect her. He's still going to care for her and be her guard and her shield and her Lord and her salvation and her rescue. So just really beautiful character, really beautiful story. I'm so excited to share her with you and the rest of this book. I'm going to share a little bit about Dylan Kincaid next week, so check back, and I will be posting that soon. As always, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, BeautyRestored18. Check out my website, beautyrestored.org. It is a fantastic website that just has all of my books. It has access to everything that you would need about my books. I have tons of information about my books, as well as little devotional blogs about why these stories are significant and the deeper Christ stories within these stories. So check it out. Love to see you reading my books. So post pictures if you want of you reading my books, and I can't wait to share the story with you. Have a great day.